Over the years, I've helped hundreds of people move to, from, and around the Detroit area, and a lot of them came from out of state because of this YouTube channel. So I asked them, I said, what were the biggest shocks to you when you moved to Detroit or you moved to the Detroit area? What was a surprise? What did you not expect when you moved here? And I wrote it all down, put it in a list, got it on my phone. Now, these are things that I heard over and over. So I took the top 10 things and we're gonna go over them right now. Again, these are observations from people moving to the Detroit area. Not from me. All these things seem totally normal to me because I don't go anywhere and I essentially have just lived here all my life, or I have lived here all my life. Cup of coffee, got a list, let's go. First things first on the list, aggressive drivers. We are pretty aggressive drivers here. I mean, I think it's just normal to drive as aggressively as we do, but I guess if you're from out of state and you're just used to like a snail's pace traffic, it might be like a shock to you. Like, we always have somewhere to go right now, yesterday, 10 minutes ago.
Why are we still sitting here?
We needed to be there. We're late. We gotta get to the lake. Gotta get on a boat. We don't have crazy traffic like a lot of these other states do. So if there's an open spot, we're gonna go, go, go.
Slow down.
It's always ridiculous to me when I hear about people that have to drive like 2 hours to work from other states and they're only going like a few miles. Like, that is nuts to me. Like, everything around here is like 30 minutes from everything, depending on where you're at. If you want to live in Detroit or you want to live in Metro Detroit, you can probably get wherever you need to be pretty quickly. The next thing I constantly hear about is the roads are bad. And not just bad, they're worse than anyone ever expected. Potholes in Detroit and in Metro Detroit will straight up eat your car, basically. I mean, they're pretty gnarly. But do not let that deter you from buying a car with low profile tires. I've been driving fast cars with low profile tires my entire driving career. I guess it's not really a career. My entire driving life? I don't know. As long as I could drive, I've been driving pretty fast cars with very small tires. And I got really good at like avoiding them. It's like I'm like a space pilot avoiding asteroids.
I think you've stumbled upon the perfect analogy.
Over the years, I've probably only blown out like 3 or 4 tires. And I've been driving for a long time, so it's not too bad. Recently, I was actually at a building site for one of my clients. But as I was leaving that new construction site, I heard a little clickety-clack sound. And I don't know if you can see this, but I've got an Allen wrench stuck into the meat of my tire. That was ridiculous. That was probably the craziest thing that's ever happened. You see the whole Allen wrench was just like in there. That long. Luckily, that car has run flat tires, so I didn't have a leak. What do we got next on our list? Fences and sidewalks. Now, this is a big one, especially from people coming from out of state. Now, fences and sidewalks are not super common in the Detroit suburbs. So the further you get out from the city center, when you get to areas like Novi, Northville, Farmington Hills, not so much Farmington, Rochester Hills, all of those areas, you're going to have these big, beautiful subdivisions, and a lot of them don't have sidewalks, and a lot of them do not have fenced yards. So a lot of times in Michigan, you cannot have fenced lots, but in areas like Birmingham, you can. Now, when you're closer to city centers, and when I say city centers, I mean places like Detroit, Royal Oak, Ferndale, like all of these little downtown areas that were developed like a long time ago, 1900s. You're going to have areas that have tree-lined streets and sidewalks and things like that. So if you are looking for a place like that, you just need to know, well, where to look. And I can help you with that. Just reach out. I'm your guy. That's what I do when I'm not doing the YouTubes. You know, personally, I would like to have sidewalks. So, and I totally understand when people are moving here and they say, I have kids, I want to be able to just let them out and go play on the sidewalks and go to their friends' houses. I agree, absolutely. The neighborhood that I live in now, no sidewalks. You just like let them go free and hopefully they're okay. And then the fence thing, I'm sorry, I get it too. Like my house backs to a bunch of woods and we always have deer in the backyard. My dogs are trying to go out. It's just pandemonium. But there are some newer subdivisions that allow for fences. And again, whoever you're working with, they should be able to figure out where it is that you could be to have your fences and your sidewalks and all the things. All right, what do we got next? Home prices. So the prices of homes, they're not cheap. They're not as cheap as people would expect them to be. Everyone sees these stories about Detroit having cheap homes, and yes, You can buy a cheap house in Detroit. I don't know that you want to, but you can buy a cheap house in Detroit. And you can buy a cheap house all over Metro Detroit, or cheap homes. You can buy a cheap home sort of all over the place. But I don't know that you want to.
Ryan? I think I know why it's so cheap.
My favorite website for tracking stuff like crime statistics and like neighborhood maps is a website called neighborhoodscout.com. It's the website that I share with all my clients. I say, go check this out, look at this, and it shows like a heat map of crime and a bunch of other things. So I say, look at this and look at where you're looking and decide on if you're cool with it. For the home price thing, I blame a lot of this on the YouTube channels about places like Texas, where you guys have like these mansions for like $200,000. It's absolutely ridiculous. People from Texas will move here and they're like, Paul, I want to find a house like this. You're not gonna do it. It's not gonna happen. You cannot build you a house that big, that grand in Michigan for that amount of money. You're not gonna like what you can get for that kind of money. All right, what's next on our list here? Automotive insurance. Now this is a shock to a lot of people. Michigan has the highest automotive insurance rates in the country. Keep that in mind. So when you're moving here and you're just like planning out your bills and everything, check with an insurance agent. I have an insurance agent. I'll give you their number. She can help you out, figure out how much it's gonna be. Especially if you want to live in a city like Detroit. So Detroit rates are even higher. So it depends on where you live in the state of Michigan. So like one city is going to be more expensive than another city, and like where your house is in that city is going to change the rate too. So a lot of people don't pay attention to that at all because they're moving from areas where they don't even need a car. If you live in a city like New York and you get around on an electric skateboard like Casey Neistat, then like you had no idea. You had no idea that this was going to be a crazy bill like that. You thought all you were going to have to worry about was high-speed internet. Joke's on you. And you have to have car insurance. It's not like a maybe thing. You have to have it. So if you do have a car now, your insurance on that car is going up when you move here. All right, what's next on the list? Cars. It's a perfect segue. Cars. You need a car if you're going to live in Michigan. At least one, if not more than one. I have quite a few. And a motorcycle. Fast cars. I've got like pretty fast cars. I've got pretty fast motors. I like fast stuff. I'm a fast guy.
Okay, let's race.
Not like physically. Physically, I'm not a fast person. A lot of states are not as dependent on vehicular transportation as we are here. We are a state of road. Can you see that map back there? I don't know if you can see it. That's Michigan. That's our roadways. It's crazy. There's like no trains to get anywhere. So if you live in the city of Detroit, you're not, I guess you could like jump on one of those little scooters. They've got a lot of those little scooter things in downtown Detroit, and they've got the Q line. That's happening, but you're gonna be taking an Uber or a Lyft or driving your own car if you wanna go anywhere, which you will want to go other places. The city of Detroit, downtown Detroit, it's pretty awesome, but you will want to explore. And to get to those other areas, like if you wanna get to downtown Birmingham or Ferndale or Royal Oak, you're gonna have to take a car. So you should get a car. And if you are a family of more than one, then you need more than one car. I've helped a lot of people move here and they're like, we only have one car now, that's all we really need. No, you probably need more. You need more than one car. Remember what I said about automotive insurance? It's like more for the car and more for the insurance. I'm really selling you on Michigan, right?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about this.
Trying to be honest. All right, what is next on this list? No through traffic. And so that's kind of a funny one. No one drives through Michigan to get anywhere, right? Like if you look at it, we're a peninsula. So no one's driving through Michigan to get to the Upper Peninsula. No one goes there. I mean, I'm sorry, Upper Peninsula, but like no one's driving through. And because of that, we don't have any toll roads. We have toll bridges, but no toll roads. So I know a lot of other states, you drive through and like, oh, just take the toll road. And it's so nice. And I'll just rip through. Not here, not here. You're taking the freeways everywhere, or the back roads. Back roads and the freeways. I did recently read an article that said that because of the automated vehicle industry, they think that the Upper Peninsula is going to become super popular because people will just be able to hop in their car, turn it on, and push a button and say, go to the Upper Peninsula, and then they'll just go. I don't know. It is really cold up there. It's basically Canada. It's connected to Wisconsin. I feel like it should be part of Wisconsin. I'm sorry. Upper Peninsula, don't get mad at me. it's like, it's just so, it's like out of sight, out of mind. I don't even think about it. Electric cars though. I'm not an electric car person. I'm sorry. I know I work with a lot of people who work with like Tesla and Rivian and all the automotive companies. I'm a manual transmission fast car guy. That's me. The next thing on our list, this is a funny one to me, gas lines. We have gas lines everywhere because we don't have earthquakes. We don't have a lot of natural disasters here, so gas lines, like everywhere, under everything. So everything is gas powered. Not gas powered, but like gas fueled. Like natural gas fueled?
Not that natural.
So if you're moving here from a place like Ohio, this isn't a big deal for you. But if you're moving here from like California or even areas like Florida, like I don't know, sort of all over the place. People are always seem to be shocked that like everything is ran on gas and you don't have to like have a tank filled up. It just runs to it. And if you want to add like a gas stove, if it's just an electric stove, just call a plumber. You call a plumber, they run a new piece of black pipe, done deal. It's like it's a cheap and easy thing you can do. You can even connect your barbecue grill to the gas line. It's like super easy. Just have to make sure you buy a barbecue grill that's like outfitted for that stuff. The next thing on our list is the weather. The weather is not as bad as people expect it to be. So that's always a good thing for me to hear. That they're like, oh, the winter, it wasn't that bad. And I feel like every year it's just getting warmer and warmer. And I know I heard about read some headline like it's beyond global warming now, it's global boiling, which like, I don't know, I'm not that smart, but I can tell you that winters have been getting warmer and warmer and warmer. I have a monster snowblower. I bought it from a family, they were moving to Florida, so they didn't need this thing anymore, and it's an absolute monster. It's like the size of my motorcycle. I've barely used the thing. I use it maybe once a year, maybe. It's pretty awesome. Like it will chuck wet snow like a football field. It's nuts. I actually hear the weather comment from a lot of people that are moving from areas like Texas and Florida, Arizona, where they're used to just unbearably hot heat. Like every single day they're dealing with this crazy weather where they come here and it's like mild, you know, like the summers are warm, the winters are not too bad. You know, a lot of people think that they're super bad, but they're not. Fall's beautiful, the spring's beautiful. I mean, that's why people are here. They're here for the seasons. It's absolutely why they're here. Next thing on our list, taxes. Specifically, property taxes, because they are crazy in Michigan. I talk a lot on my channel about property taxes, and it's still a shock to people. Like over and over again, they're still surprised. Like they hear me talk about it all the time, and they're like, what? Taxes are nuts. I'll say this again. What you see listed on a property that's for sale on a website like Zillow or Redfin or Realtor is not what you're actually going to be paying. It's probably going to be a lot more, like a lot more. Lot more, and it's all broken down into different categories. So if you are going to live in Michigan, right? So you've got different counties. So let's say you want to live in Wayne County in the city of Detroit with Detroit schools. So like every time you add another tier into that, it changes your tax rate and how much you're going to be paying. And Detroit has some like super crazy high taxes. And there's little like pocket areas where you can save some money by going to a different school district or being in an area of a city with a different school district. It's a lot. It's a lot. Actually, if you're interested in learning more about property taxes in Detroit and in Michigan in general, I actually made an entire video all about taxes and why they're so weird in Michigan, and you can check it out here, and I'll see you there.